Hi. Um, Hi, Stuart. And today mm, I am crying because
Uh,
I.
1 second. I have to make this louder or you have to speak up.
Okay. Today mm, um, I am crying because I feel a lot of support, like really,
Wait,
really
wait, wait.
support.
Eileen, sit still. Stop moving your head. Just stay in it, centered inside. Okay, now go ahead.
Okay. And today I feel a lot of support, like really support, a lot of love, and I am crying, like I feel really happy. That's all.
Well, it's the way it's supposed to be. It's the way it's supposed to be. Look, what do we all need? We need to be loved. We need to feel like there's a place for us in the world. We need to feel our own self-esteem. We are independent human beings connected to spirit who can share and can give unconditionally, receive unconditionally. Well, all of that is part of learning how to have a spiritual life. And what you just described, Aileen, is to me very beautiful. I mean, shows that there's been a lot of growth in you since you started doing this, a lot of maturity. And I couldn't ask for more. Thank you. Does anyone else have a question? Comment, statement?
Stuart, I have a question. Could you talk a little bit about um, attachment to people, to material things, to the past, and how uh, we are human and we have attachments, and how we can, I don't know, just be free of them.
Look, I mean, I learned from my teacher many years ago that there's nothing wrong with having people in your life, having money, having things. I mean, look, I'm a little bit nuts. I buy art, I have an apartment full of art now, but I'm not attached to it. I love it. I like it, and one day when I pass on, it'll go on, or I'll just get rid of it through selling it to somebody or something like that. But the whole thing there's nothing wrong with having things in life. There's nothing wrong with having success in life, having ambition, having money, having a wonderful relationship with somebody. The problem is that we substitute it for a connection to God. Understand, our entire focus of tension goes into things, and they become like little gods and goddesses that surround us, and they suck our energy out of us. But it's to enjoy life and not be attached to life. It's to love life and not be attached to life. And I think, to me, that is an extraordinary way to live. So one can have huge success in the world. At the same time, they're not attached to the success. They can thoroughly enjoy it with an open heart, with love, with gratitude, but not be attached to it. Not thinking that the success, is higher than a connection with God or spirit or higher energy in the universe. So I'm not a person who believes you have to, give up your whole life in order to have a spirit. You just have to be free of your attachments. And that's part of the discipline that we practice here, building an inner life that's strong enough to free us of our attachments. And how do you get free of your attachments? You connect with spirit, with God, with higher energy, by building a chakra system that enables you to do that, that gives you the ability to live here on a higher plane and to also live in the world. And when you live in the world and you get free of the world, you are working out your karma. You have learned to work out your karma. And then there'll be no reason to come back here. You've done it. So there's no conflict here with having things in your life. The only conflict is the insecurity in people that attaches themselves to these things and think that these things make them more important. They don't. They're just things you can enjoy and love and have in your life. They make life better, more delicious. At the same time, they even get more delicious when you're not attached to them, when they don't substitute for your connection to God, or higher energy in the universe. And I think it's very important to have success in life. I really do. Because how do you get free of success if you spend your entire life being a failure? You have to learn to surrender being a failure so you can attract success, so you can learn how to surrender success. I mean, really, it's that simple. We don't get free of anything we haven't experienced. And it's very easy to ground ourselves in failure. People do it all the time. To get free of failure, you learn how to have success. And then you learn how to get free of success. I mean, I've spoken, I once saw, I've spoken about this a lot, but it bears repeating here. I once saw an interview with Bill Gates. Now, Bill Gates is a pretty rich guy, probably worth $150 billion. And in the interview, he said to the interviewer that he can't get a decent night's sleep because he's afraid when he wakes up in the morning, his empire is going to be gone. Now, to me, it was like the Buddha talking to me, telling me about attachment to power, to money. Now, what an extraordinary thing is if you could have $150 billion and not be attached to it and enjoy it and the wonderment of what it can bring and how it can help humanity and save lives and, without being attached. But the problem is people get successful, then they have to spend their whole life defending their success. And that's a serious problem. People fail and they have their whole life justifying that they can't succeed. They don't know how to make more than a minimum wage in this life, And all of it is illusion. It's all illusion. I mean, one of the reasons I got in the art business is when I was younger, I had an enormous amount of art that I got from Rudy and his mother and his brother. And I said to myself, Stuart, look, this stuff is going to you got to create a river. So it comes and it goes, and another one comes and goes. And it generated an enormous amount of a great living for me and also freed me from the objects that I owned. I mean, things I've sold enough things to basically fill a museum on Himalayan art, the kinds of things I've sold in my life. And people always ask me, aren't you attached to this? I say, no. Come, they go, find a new home. They provide ability for me to pay rent and to eat and to live and to clothe myself and to. But one of the reasons I did it is I had to get free of the stuff. And then it provided for life on another level, a wonderful level. And then I had to get free of life on a wonderful level. I remember I went through like 10 years. It was like living in the book of Job. You know, it was so difficult. Everything was falling apart in my life. I had to surrender everything except my connection to God. Does anyone else have a question? I hope that's clear, Wendy.
Thank you, Stuart. Yes, thank you.
Does anyone else have a question?
Stuart, I have a question. Dan,
Yeah.
I'm wondering, I've read every book that you've written, and I think everybody should read every book that you've written. But the new book that's coming out, is it going to be available for purchase before it's picked up by a publisher for your students?
I don't think so, Dan. It just is a huge investment for me to buy all these books, and then I have to wind up selling them, and I don't want to do that. I have meetings with people that I think can really help me, and I want to get a major publisher to publish the book. They will get distribution. They can probably get it in every museum, bookshop in the world. You know, libraries, they could, they do that. And I can't do any of that stuff. I don't want to do it. I have to start a whole business. And at my age, I don't want to start a publishing business. So I'm going to first try everything under the sun to find the major publisher. I have a meeting middle of this month with somebody who, my God, if it could work out. Anyway, we'll see. I don't know. All I know is that I don't want to be a publisher. You know, I have to start hiring people and this and that and public relations and my God, I've done all that in my life. I don't need to get back involved in it. It's a wonderful book. Whoever publishes it should feel honored to publish it. I'm not kidding. And yet, look, I wrote that book, Leah. Never forget that. 72 rejections I got from agents, publishers, 72. I had a pile of them on my desk this high. I would look at them and I say, no, this is a very good book. You're not gonna stop. And then I had this movie star used to come into my gallery. And I said to him, you're in this world. I said, somebody that would publish my book. I said, read this. And if you like it, maybe somebody who'll probably read it. Call me back like 3-4 days later. Stuart, I love this book. He called up somebody. Within 2 weeks, I had the publisher for the book. It was incredible. That's how that world works.
Thank you. I'm glad to see that fell into the right gear.
Yeah, it did. And I don't want to run a publishing company. I really don't. It's a terrible business. And I don't want to be in it. I'm a writer. I've written a very, very good book, a profound book. I have 10 other books that could go to the same publishing company that they could use. Look, I don't want that. So I'm going to do an effort to find somebody to publish it. If you know somebody, let me know. But I don't know. I can't tell I don't want to tell the future, right? I think it should find a publisher, and I think it'll get out there, and I think it's a really important book. And it's a beautiful book. Kenny designed a beautiful book. It looks absolutely beautiful. I'm very proud of it. And I'm detached from it. Does anyone else have a question they would like to? Okay, if there are no more questions, then the next class will be in 2 Wednesdays. I'm going on vacation. And I say that very happily with a lot of joy. I need a rest. It's been a very hard year so far, and I need a rest. So I'm looking forward to seeing everybody. I'll take you all with me in my heart. And do your work while I'm gone. Really do your work every day. Once, twice a day, sit down for 20 minutes, and do your inner work. And God bless you all for being in my life. And God bless you all for attending these classes. And I have nothing but gratitude for the connection that we all have. So thank you. Right.
Thank you. Love you, Stuart.
Thank you, Stuart.
Thank you, Stuart. Have a beautiful rest.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Holiday.
Yeah.